Benue State Governor Hyacinth Alia has come under criticism after declaring he would not support self-defense by citizens despite the recent surge in deadly attacks across the state. Speaking to reporters, Governor Alia said he would not encourage communities to take up arms, insisting that security should remain the responsibility of government forces.
One, you need to be trained to understand the dynamics of fighting, of guerrilla warfare, of getting out there to attack. The Constitution permits all of us to defend the self. The question is to what extent. Each time I speak about this, I not only get very passionate about it, but I cautiously guide my citizenry. It is not just advisable for you to say you will pick your knives and your machetes and sticks to get out there to fight. That is not good. There are conversations around this theme of community policing. I am one of the governors that accepted this, that projected it, and at any time at all, we call for community policing. If it is community policing, the full power resides with me to call on those who understand the terrain where we're being attacked, who know the beginning and the end, the length and the breadth of our borders, because this would be right within their local government. So they will know the terrain, they will know what infests us, and then they will know who to send forward to join the ranks of the community police.
So
I understand that people have their own doubts, that there will be abuses.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are abuses in everything.
Yeah.
There are abuses in everything.
And perhaps access to sophisticated weapons as well.
Yeah, and then when the federal government is wise enough to say, if we are bringing community policing, this is what should come to bear. These are the kind of arms these people, the people in different states should carry. And I think that would make some very good common sense. But where you have people who just decide to wake up because of sentiments and emotions that are attached, to what is happening with us and within us, I think we'll be rendering ourselves a bit more vulnerable. So I wouldn't advocate for self-defense. I would encourage us all to keep calling for community policing because it's the only way, it's the only people from within the state and the local government who would understand what is going on with them. I just come to think of it, before now, here in the States, the chief area in particular, we have the traditional tax collectors, we have the third-class chiefs, we have the second-class chiefs, we have the first-class chiefs, we have the paramount rulers. These were people who ruled, who governed the chief spaces, and things worked out, before independence. And this should never be far-fetched. Thank God we are working with our traditional institution here in the state, and they have been of very tremendous support. The Totiv and the Ochidoma, whose people hear them, listen to them, and cooperate with them.
Your Excellency, let me just come in here for the want of time.
Supporting, but again, their powers are limited, even in the country.
Sure that a lot of outpouring of support are for you, especially at this trying time. But when people are dying and are being attacked in their sleep, families are being cut down in their prime, the question first that comes to mind is survival, is protection. And again, I'm going back to the conversation on self-defense. I hear you say, you do not advise it, you do not support it. People should really speak and advocate for state police. But in the immediate, in the short term, when 200 or more people are, more down in their prime, they are asking questions: where were the police? Where were the security architecture during the time this is happening? And if they cannot be protected within that time, what would be the resort for them? So I hear you say no to self-defense, but in the immediate, in the short term, what would be the counsel, alternative for the people who these are happening to their lives every day?
Let me redraw that line of self-defense. I've not denied self-defense, but I'm not for a self-defense that goes with desperate situations require desperate answers, which would include you are unprepared with arms, you do not understand the dynamic of confrontation, and then you just move out there with your knives, with your machetes, and with the sticks, regular forest sticks, and then you say you are going out there to defend yourself. Terrorists prepare themselves. They have a plan, indeed, a strategic plan, either to take over, to land grab, to make you people, to reduce you as a people, and then end of the day to push you out and then to occupy. So you need to understand where they are coming from and what they are thinking is. You need to fully understand what you need to have in place to get out there in the front lines and then to attack them. The Tiv people have been very and are very obedient to the Constitution and to the law. Unfortunately, what has befallen us, it's come to bring a different thinking and different interpretation to us now. And this is why for the immediate, the federal government, it's come to our doors to ensure that all those killings stop. We must be very strategic even in thinking, in planning, in execution. I'm not against self-defense. As I'm sitting in here, if someone walks in here, even with the machetes or with the gun coming at me, there are a series of ways that I can try to stop them or can try to hurt them. Murder is separate from killing. Killing morally is acceptable. Murder, like what is befalling us, it's unacceptable, and we must understand that. So you talk of killing in moral terms, it is permissible where it is in self-defense. But when you talking at the very larger scale here, socially, as what befalls us, the murderers acts that are befalling us, we must attack these with directedness, very deliberate, calculated, strategic attempt and effort, thinking, planning, and then fighting back. Anything short of that will just render such people even more vulnerable. So I'm talking from the springboard of preparedness and that strategic planning before execution. So in as much as desperate time situations call for desperate answers, and it would not be good enough. I encourage people not to keep fanning the embers of this fire. Be thinking about the preparedness of people to fight back. This is a given. We are the ones to protect our own turf. I keep telling people, we, the citizenry, must be in the front lines of protection of our borders, of our houses, of our state and our local governments. But it has to go with the preparedness and the strategy before the execution.
However, the governor's comments have sparked anger and frustration among residents, especially in areas like Yelawata and Dodu, where over 150 people were recently killed by suspected armed herdsmen. Many argue that it makes no sense to ask unarmed civilians to remain passive while their communities are being destroyed and the government struggles to provide protection. If the government cannot protect us, why should we be told not to defend ourselves? A local youth leader in Gumalaja asked. While Governor Alia called for calm and promised better coordination with federal security agencies, citizens are demanding urgent action, not just words to stop the killings and protect vulnerable communities. As pressure mounts, many are asking whether peace can truly be restored without allowing people the right to defend their own lives and homes.